It's been raining again. It was really bucketing down on my way home, although it's only sprinkling at the moment, but you can see behind me there's still quite a storm going on over there. And down south too. It's beginning to clear up a bit up north. Now, this is different for us because we are 3 weeks from camp, and in our previous years we have not had any rain whatsoever in the approach to camp, or indeed during camp, but we've had quite a bit more for the last few weeks. I'd say it's rained about once a week. It's a dirt road, and dirt roads don't like muddy conditions, particularly if you're trying to get down it under ordinary cars. So our intent was to go up to Prescott tomorrow and check out the road conditions, but it's dumping even worse up there. So we might have to hold it till next weekend. Not sure yet. Or maybe we should go under these conditions. I'm not sure. Anyway, as we'll find out.
What's so funny? What are you doing? It hurts. What's so funny?
All I can say is that this has turned out to be more entertainment at Sonic than I expected. The floor show is hilarious.
I don't get.
I've got some video to shoot today. Not this video, although I am shooting this video today too. I'm putting together some videos for the parents of camp. Just sort of, I'm beginning to get the feeling, that's slightly sarcastic, that they don't read what we send them. That's definitely true, because you can't imagine how many questions I get asking questions that were outlined in the confirmation email that was sent to them, which you'd think you're sending your kid away, you'd actually read the mail you get, but apparently not. So a little bit of a dilemma here. I'm going to try to send out an email from the system with links to some YouTube videos. I'll start with one today, and then I should be able to count how many people actually look at the video, especially if I don't publish it. Well, I publish it as an unlisted video on YouTube. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get a fair amount of parental viewing of that. I'm going to try to combine it. You know, some parents are on the ball and they've got it, and obviously that therefore could be a little redundant. Some parents probably don't even know they have to send in medical forms, so I need to make sure that they get that information. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the tripod for me, and probably over here. And I really don't know yet, so I'm just kind of playing around with it. And I'm going to put a stool here, and that should put me, I'm kind of looking at myself in the camera there too, just to see, but my bookshelf's behind me, so if I bring this up to about, that's probably not high enough. That is, yeah, it might be. Maybe if I slouch a little bit, I could just lift the tripod more. It gets more complicated when you start putting the legs up halfway. Anyway, the idea is it's going to be a nice close shot. I don't really want a whole lot behind me, but I've got my bookshelf back here. So you know, they'll be able to tell that I'm a well-read and urbane person, so that they will be able to see my classic collection of Victorian ghost tales, my unsurpassed collection of Doctor Who novels, my Jackie Chan biography, and the Encyclopedia of Mystical and Paranormal Experience. That one should go over really well. Got a Tom Clancy novel up there. Never read it though, but maybe it'll look a little bit. Some Matt Helms. I definitely have to put the complete encyclopedia of cricket. That would be good. Maybe I should move some science books down onto the levels behind my head. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to try to set this up and run some video and see what we get. I will also be using this lavalier mic, which I'm testing right now. I finished the first video. I don't like it, but really it doesn't need to be perfect, but I still don't like it. For starters, I'm not looking there. I'm looking there. And there is bad. There is where I am. And there is where you are. And I should be looking where you are. So it's bad just from, fundamentally, I was looking at the wrong spot on the camera. It rambles a bit, but I guess it gets the point across. We'll see. The nice thing is I'll be able to tell how many people have looked at it by looking at the stats on YouTube. And since I won't tell anyone except the parents, I should get a feel for how many of them actually check out the video. I'd like to think it's going to be all of them. I'm willing to bet it's going to be 40%. I do not relish? I don't relish either, but I don't relish having to call them and say, excuse me, where are your medical forms? I think in the past I've gotten by with it, but all but one or two parents. But I don't know, we have a lot of new parents this year, and I'm not getting a lot of feedback. So we'll find out. Well, I've put together a second video, and I did a lot better at keeping my eye pointed at the camera. So that's something. Got 2 videos ready to go to send out to the parents. They're not perfect. They're basically this, me talking to you. Except I'm talking to them, not you. Unless you are some of them. Which I don't think that's the case. But, it's like, Anyway, so that's mission accomplished. I feel like I got something done for the weekend. Instead of, we were going to go to Prescott. Did I tell you that already? We were going to go to Prescott. We were going to check the road conditions. But, I mean, it dumped all night long. And there's no point in checking the road conditions today, because that's not what the road conditions are going to be like after it dries up. So, hopefully next week on Sunday. It's a bank holiday weekend, so we'll try to go up and back on Sunday so don't catch the Saturday or Monday traffic. The thing we were laughing at earlier, I know I kind of just left it in there and didn't explain what was going to go on there. I don't know if where you are you have Sonic drive-thru. That's a particular company, restaurant chain. They kind of try to trade in on that sort of 1950s vibe, drive-ins, which I hate. I mean, I don't hate Sonic per se, but I don't want to eat in my car. I don't want to pull in and sit there and eat in my car. My car is not as comfortable as a chair in a restaurant. And so I don't want to do that. And I don't get any nostalgia out of it because I wasn't alive in the 50s. So just don't care. Nonetheless, it was convenient today, and they do have a lot of drinks. One of the things about Sonic is they have a ton of combinations of drinks. Now, we've already discussed my opinion of mixed flavored drinks. So that's not an appeal to me, but it is to a lot of people. So you have to kind of envision this. You drive in and you pull in, and next to you is a board that has that menu, and you push the button and you order your food, and eventually a car hop comes out, brings you your food, and you either pay them or you can pay at the thing, although I couldn't pay because it was busted. So well, I mean, I did pay eventually, obviously, but we didn't just eat the food and drive off. But I'm not crazy about even drive-thrus. because you have to yell into the machine and they can't understand you and you can't understand them. And then even worse, I hate ordering for my family. Well, I hate ordering for anyone. You know what you want. You know how you want it. I'm picky about my food. When I order, I want to make sure I got, this and extra that and a little this. And so I like the precision of that. I do not like the responsibility of having to do it for other people. So we pull into the drive-thru and my wife is scribbling out her order and the kids' order so that it's on a piece of paper so that when I have to speak it to the person, I can make sure it's exactly right. Meantime, of course, we've got the windows down because it was a lovely day today in the car. And I can hear all the other people at all the other stations ordering their food. And it is just, it's a cabaret. It's hilariously funny. It sounds, you can hear the bellhop crystal clear. I have no complaints about the quality of the sound system that they have. It's crystal clear. It's great. Apparently, what they're hearing sounds like you talking through a tin can tied to a piece of string because they are constantly going, "What? I'd like a hamburger. What? Hamburger, please." So, some examples. The guy next to us comes in and he pulls in and the first question he says, they say, "Welcome to Sonic." And he goes, "Do you guys still have the cheesesteak?" And the person at the other end goes, "What? The cheesesteak. Do you still have it?" "What? Do you still have the cheesecake?" Sorry, cheesesteak. Okay, they actually have cheesecake. Cheesesteak. What's that? Cheese? Steak. Steak. Yes, cheesesteak. What? It's like, do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. All right, never mind. I'll just have a double burger with this, that, the other thing. And then they just rattle that one back off. So, I don't know. There's no cheesesteak on the menu. I don't know if they ever had a cheesesteak in the menu. But man, this guy invested a lot of time trying to get that going. But the one we were laughing at was the guy on the other side. Now he comes in and he's just ordering drinks. So the first thing he does is he comes in and he orders, and he's by himself in the car. And he orders he says, "My wife wants, let's see, I think it was an Oreo caramel smoothie." Now, my first thought was, and this is what started me laughing, if you drive down to a place that makes all sorts of bizarre drinks, and I mean they have Oreo and Reese's and peanut butter, and then you can mix them with chocolate and caramel, and I mean tons of combinations, right? If you're ordering that for your wife, you better get it right. And the phrase, "I think my wife wanted," is not the way to preface that statement. You should be very certain that's exactly what your wife wanted. Now, I can understand if he was playing a joke, like, for example, when my wife tries that with me and she says, "I would like to have an Oreo caramel shake," which she has never said, but let's say that she did, I would immediately go and say, "Okay, got that. You want a peanut butter chocolate shake?" And then she'd go, "No, an Oreo chocolate shake." And I go, oh, chocolate chip cookie, and then just because. But when I get there, I guarantee you, I would not be going, "I think my wife wants." That would be a mistake. But that wasn't what was funny. What was funny is he goes, "And I would like an apple limeade." And the girl at the other end goes, "A what?" And he says, "An apple limeade." And she goes, "We can't make that for you." And he goes, "What? You can't make it?" It's like, "No, we don't have apple." They go, "Oh, you don't have apple?" "No, we don't carry apple." And he's looking at the board, and it says green apple right here. You go, "Oh, green apple? Yeah, we have that." "Okay, I'll have a green apple limeade." That's what we were laughing at. It was just that kind of
stupidity on the wait staff. I mean, they were just really not operating on more than, let's say, 2 out of 8 cylinders. It was just not a good day for them. So I missed a Periscope earlier today. One of my internet friends, Simon Brown, was at Lincoln Castle, and while I was asleep, I might add, that's that whole time zone thing kicking in there, or I would have watched it, but I saw it when I woke up, and he was at Lincoln Castle, which I've never heard of before, but it was cool looking. It was a proper castle. I remember when we were in England, and some castles were more interesting than others. I loved the walls around York, because they had those proper crenellations along the thing so that the archers could get up there, and obviously Bugs Bunny, because that's what I always think of. You get the proper castles with Bugs Bunny and a dragon running along it. Anyway, neither here nor there. He was at Lincoln Castle, which I'd never heard of before, and I happened to notice from the Periscope, sort of the location that it puts on there, that was fairly close to Nottingham. Now, bear with me here. Nottingham, as you may know, has some association with the Sheriff of Nottingham. And the Sheriff of Nottingham, of course, had to do with policing Sherwood Forest, which is where the infamous outlaw Robin Hood lived. And what did Robin Hood wear? That's right, Lincoln green. That cannot be a coincidence. I'm telling you, I think we're onto something here. I think this means something. Anyway, tomorrow we have our training for our staff volunteers for camp, so I don't know how exciting that day is going to be from the whole vlogging standpoint. It may be a non-existent day. But in the meantime, remember, likes way over here. Let's try that again. Like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time.